Hi, everybody. Hi, Teresa. Hello, Hypnicity. Hi, Bora Bora. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. It's great to see everybody. Okay, so everybody, thank you for being here today. And thank you for everybody that's going to be joining on the replay to watch this again in the future. You're included in this wonderful energy as we come in on this Unra Maki, which is the day of the orca. It's the day of harmony. Certainly use that. It's been it's been an interesting week, and we'll just leave it at that. The energies have been different, we will say. Okay, so we are here to do the Lemurian Oracle card reading for our Lemurian birth signs. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to start us off with a harmonization. And what that'll do is get all of our energies pretty much on the same page. Hi, Yurika. We're just about ready to begin. So here we go. Tie, mori, ora, mahaka watahi, it ingawa te tau iri te aatawana, waiuata buk. It ingawa te whenui, trarani te katau, waiuata buk. It ingawa te whaia, tamatua te tama. Waiuata buk. Tie, mori, ora. Wonderful. Yay. I always enjoy that. Gets us into the Lemurian energies. So we're going to start off with our 13th sign. And so what that is anybody that is born on any of the months of the year that is born on the 29th, 30th, or the 31st, you're what's called a Ma'ita. And that is a crystal, which is your symbol. And your light, your stargate, is the central sun. And the central sun is where all of the other birth signs sits around for this 13th month. So for the 13th month, you're going to have ether this week, which I find very highly appropriate. That's our pure source energy coming through. And these cards, they are from Izzy Ivy. Hang on a second, and I will show you the box right quick. My copious notes. Okay, so Beyond Lemuria is the name of the Oracle card deck that I'm using here. And Izzy Ivy is the lady that created these. So that was the Ma'ita babies. Now, on to Namus. Namu, if you were born September 1st through the 28th, first of all, happy birthday. I hope you have a wonderful birthday. And so this is the month of the dove, and the essence for this month is peace. And yours this week, wow. Yours is earth. Wow, look at that. There's even spirals up in the clouds. There's a whole lot going on in this card, a lot of movement. And she is asking us to ground and connect for the Namus this week. Ground and connect into everything that's going on with Mother Earth, even below. Beautiful card, beautiful. Nurture your home. So you might want to think of a way to maybe bring in some flowers or something, bring some good energies into your home space. Next up, we have for Kitty Hees. I know our Annie Bear is a Kitty Hee. Judy, I think it was Judy Garland, is another one of our Kitty Hees. And this is for the sign of the Lamb, and the essence will be truth. This is for anybody that's born through October 1st through the 28th. Again, if you were born on the 29th, 30th, or 31st, you were a Ma'ita. You were the very first card that we pulled. So this is for our October babies. And again, that's October 1st through the 28th. And you're called Kirihi. That's the sign of the Lamb. Yours this week is fire. Bringing in the dragon energies. We have a lot of dragon energies this year because we're in the year of the cosmic dragon. I think it's also called the wood dragon. So a lot of energies with that card this week. fire. Fire can also be a very powerful tool for cleansing. Just be sure that you do it safely, because we are at the height of fire season right now. It's a Solaris Sublime, which is interesting. Hi, Judy. You're a kitty he, right? The sign of the lamb. Yeah. Did someone say shenanigans? If you type in your birthday and just the month and the day, I'll be able to figure out which one it is that you are. Yep. So Judy Kindlin, yeah, this is your card for the week. Oh, perfect. Did someone say shenanigans? It's the same thing then. You're going to be a kitty he, and that's the sign of the lamb. The essence is truth. So what the lamb does is it pulls the wool back. We've had wool pulled over our eyes, so the lamb is taking its wool back. So that's fire, and it says Solaris Sublime. So what you might want to do this week, you can certainly do your careful playing with bonfires. I would suggest roasting marshmallows over your your stove, maybe your gas stove or something. But you're also going to want to focus on your solar plexus. There's a chakra in the solar plexus region as well. Color is yellow for support on that. That's cool. A fire breathing. That's really cool. Okay. Wow. So next up we have Kahuku. So I'm going to get started on this. Kahuku is those that are born November 1st through the 28th. You're the sign of Kahuku, and that's the sign of the butterfly. So again, transformation is in your wheelhouse, and you have an amazing card this week. You have the portal keeper. So you may have your own little familiar. Kitty cats tend to be cosmic guardians for us. They tend to be cosmic kitties. A lot of times you'll have a cat that will appear in your life whenever you are beginning to practice your higher chakras. So the heart chakra, the throat chakra, especially the third eye and the crown chakras, you will have kitty cats coming in. Hi, Carl. We haven't reached February yet. You're going to be coming up. I try to start with those that have their birth month, and then everybody just kind of goes in right after that. So I've already done my Itas, and you're going to be the sign of the hummingbird. So we haven't done you yet. And I think, yeah, Carol, you're going to be the same. You're going to be the sign of the hummingbird. So you haven't missed it. Hi, Karen Robinson. Welcome. Hi, Carl. Okay, so now we're up to okapis. Now, okapis are the sign of the forest giraffe, and the essence is father. And this is going to be for the month of December 1st through the 28th. Oh, wonderful. Well, welcome in. Did someone say shenanigans? So for the okapis, anybody born December 1st through the 28th, you're okapi. Yay. And this is your card for the week. It's called Our Ancient Future, which is wonderful. I'm going to bring this in so you can actually see all of the coding. Everybody can actually get a lot of coding out of this one. There's just tons of light codes in this one. And you don't have to like analyze it or stress over it. It's just simply allow your body to see the light codes or feel them is more appropriate. Because what's happening is the light codes that this artist did for us is it's interacting, kind of like the codes, the Lemurian codes that I did earlier to get us onto harmonization. That's going to also be interacting with your DNA. Okay, so next up we have those that are born January 1st through the 28th. And yours is the sign of Hia. That's the sign of the hare. This sign is all about endurance and determination. And I always say enduring and endearing because I just love our hares. Woo! And you got a really cool one this week. It's awakened awareness. So right in the center, and usually this isn't just the center of something that you're peering into out externally. This is a lot of times this is the deep seed within ourselves that's unfolding. So you get to take an inner journey this week and have, a lot of times what will happen is you'll have things come in and you weren't aware of it before. As you rise up in your frequencies, you will be seeing new things. Everybody actually has this experience. As we go focus on our frequency, we're playing with tuning forks, we're doing our walking, connecting to nature. We're going to be going up in our frequency. Cool. Okay, so any hummingbirds in the house that I have, and those are the February 1st through the 28th. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so yours this week is Journey to Wholeness. Now, this one speaks of sometimes as we go through our lives, especially the first few decades of our lives, we place bits and pieces of ourselves inadvertently out into the world. Sometimes we're deep into our careers, we're deep into our studies, we're deep into our friend groups, and we'll leave bits and pieces of ourselves behind. And as we move on, we do need to remember to call back all pieces of ourselves so that we can be whole again. And a lot of times that's just something as simple as you're going to bed, imagine anything that you have coming and going through the central sun. If it's a bit or a piece that you have left out in the world, summon it back through. And so that is what you're doing this week. I like bringing it through the central sun simply because it will help to clean and clear the energy. And that way, if you choose to receive your pieces again, then they have come through a filter. Hi, Randy. Oh, I'm sorry you're late, honey. I'm going to be staying on afterwards, so I can certainly tell you what your card of the week was Ether, and so I can re-show that to you later. Right now, we're up to the February babies. So we've just finished with the February card. That was a Journey to Wholeness this week. And next up, what we have are Honus. Karen, shout out to Karen Robinson. Honus are the sign of the sea turtle, and that is for those born March 1st through the 28th. Ah, beautiful. They're asking you this week, Honus, to reclaim your energy. So don't forget you as you're putting all your energy out there into the world and you're taking care of everybody else. Remember to recharge yourself. You're important too. Okay, next up we have Tuataras. And Tuataras, their essence is the smile. They're the smiling geckos, and that is for those that are born April 1st through the 28th. Your card this week is another one of the transformation cards. It's called the Violet Flame. A lot of times this is connected to Saint Germain. And the violet flame, you just imagine a beautiful purple violet flame. And as you're transforming, if there's negative energies that come up, say you think of something that's disgusting, some memory that you don't want to hold on to, throw it mentally into the purple flame. Allow the violet flame to carry that up and away and to do transformation for you. So this is for the April babies for this week. This is your card for this week. Again, that's another transformation card. Next up, we have those who were born May 1st through the 28th. Yes, May 1st through the 28th. And your sign is Toroa. And that is the sign of the albatross. This is another determination symbol. This is the birth sign. The essence of that month is determination. It's also the observer mode. And it is the last month that is for the Lemurian calendar. So it kind of allows you during the space of May to get up and above, gives you the chance to review your year for the Lemurian New Year. So yours this week, wow. Yours this week for all of our Toroas is radical expansion. You have a dragon that is coming in, telling you to be bold, also creating a portal or a vortex there, reminding you it's time to go ahead and expand your energy so that you're the tallest one in the group, the biggest energy in the group. Sometimes you can actually take an unexpected pathway. Okay, next up, I believe Hypnicity is sign of the wombat. And this is for June 1st through the 28th. June babies, which I'm a June baby as well, so a fellow wombat. And ours, could really use that this week. We got some life force energy coming in this week. Yay. I'm always happy when I see the dolphins. There's so much going on in that card. I love the prisms and I love the hearts. I love the rainbows and the colors and the dolphins. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So that is for our week this week. For wombats, this is for June 1st through the 28th. Sign of the wombat is the first month of the Lemurian New Year. And so the sign of the wombat is the sign of the child. It's also the sign of creativity. Next up, we have the cacao babies. Yay. Okay, now the cacao babies are for July 1st through the 28th. And yours is the sign of the talking parrot. So yours is the voice. And it's about stepping into and utilizing your voice. And that's also to know when to withhold speaking in the world. Just because you can speak doesn't necessarily mean that you have to speak. Sometimes whenever we start off with something new, we'll keep it close. We'll keep it sacred for a time as the idea is building. But your card for the cacos this week, all of our talking parrots, you have the infinite. And you can see that it's kind of going through the scarab, the transformation cycle that's happening there. As you return into the infinite, we're going to bring that closer so you can see some of the light codes in there. So as we go all through our process, and then it's the reverse process when we come back in. And all of us that are here, we know that we've been here many, 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 many times, many, many lifetimes. Yeah. And that's just it, because a lot of times I've heard people and they're like, oh man, but I am, I'm a parrot, but I'm a sign of cacao, but I'm not a talker, I'm shy. And that's just it. People that have been around parrots, they know that sometimes they can be really shy around people that they don't know. Okay, so next up I have those that were born in August. And so with the August babies, we've just finished with your birthday, which is why you're at the end of the list now. And if I've missed you, happy birthday. And yours is Fatwa. That's the sign of the falcon. And that for you this week. Oh, and the essence for the Fatwa is purification. Hi, Annie Bear. Okay, so for Fatwas this week, you have harmonic flight, which is beautiful. Asking you to see both sides, honor both sides, balance both sides, and to recognize that both, as they're intertwining, you're looking for that balance. You're looking for that harmony. Both of them are important. So this week, reach for the balance. Reach for the mixing of the energies and transform it. Go into that harmony space. Yay! So that is our cards for this week. And what I'm going to do this time, I'm not going to jump over onto another live. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to extend this. My thing just refreshed, so hopefully I'm still in here. So if you were here just for the oracle card readings, I've just completed them. And for everybody else that wants to stick around, I'm just going to open the floor up so that we can do a chat. And I'm probably going to do this for about an hour because I do have a show tomorrow with Allie at or Alice. I don't know which one she goes by. At Heart and Soul Connected. So that'll be tomorrow morning. So let me see right quick. Randy, if you're still in here, I don't know if you're still in here, but we'll go ahead and this was for the Ma'ita babies. I noticed you were late coming in this week. You have ether this week. This is for the Ma'ita babies. I will. I will. Yay. Oh, how wonderful. Annie Bear, your show was amazing. I caught that. I didn't get to see it live. So much drama yesterday. But I did get to see I did get to see the replay. It was so amazing. You look so beautiful. Oh my gosh, it was just incredible. And then let me see. Oh, Annie Bear. Annie Bear, your card this week is fire. And actually, it was important because when I caught your replay, one of the things that you were talking about was for the solar plexus. You were talking about, and all of us step through this, and that's just that we hide our stuff under a basket. Sometimes our confidence really isn't there. And so that speaks to the solar plexus energy. So again, you're going to be wanting to play with the light. Let me think. You'll be doing bonfire work, playing with the light. The color yellow is helpful. And hang on a second. Let me see if I've got it available. For Tukupenga. Okay. Tawahi for the solar plexus. That chakra is the first chakra that I've actually told people to do. It'll be Tawahi. That's the Lemurian essence that you're going to be hearing. Yay. And yeah, Annie Bear has a channel, which is really cool. She's been doing some amazing work, especially if you see, well, I just love all of it. If you see, she's been doing some of the photos with the light as she's been going out on her walks. She'll take pictures and you can see in the light code. Yeah, let me write it down for you. That's how it's pronounced. Ta-wa. Oops. But there we go. Tawahi. And Tawahi is for the solar plexus. Okay. So let's go back up here. I'm going to see if I can catch some questions. Okay, yep. Karen. Last week I came across something that was really interesting. And the experiment with the salt that I did, it turned out that there was one of the things that I do other than the Lemurian stuff is I do meridian balancing, the shiatsu balancing, and that is Japanese based. The video that I watched was about the Japanese, and they will place salt in the bottoms of their shoes, in like in the shoe bed or in the sandal, and you can also put it in your socks. But what they'll do is they'll put the salt in there, and it will absorb. There's several things that are going on. It almost simulates walking on a beach because you're getting the salt, and I use the Himalayan rock salt because it's got 80 different minerals, trace minerals in there along with the salt. And you're gonna want a fine grind. Otherwise, you're walking on rocks. That's not so fun. I've had that happen this week. I was like, whoa, wait, that's really becoming a boulder in there. But it's several things. One, it's helping you ground. Two, you're getting the same benefits as walking on a beach. It's pulling out the negative. I believe it's the negative ions that it's offering. So it's helping to balance your energy system, just like walking on a beach will do. Also, with our skin, it absorbs nutrients. Basically, if you put something on your skin, it's going to absorb through it. Anybody that's had like suntan lotion in the middle of summer, you're going to notice that after a while you need to reply it, especially if you've got like zinc or something, because your body, it'll eat whatever's on the surface of it. And so what's happening with that absorbing through the soles of the feet, especially if you can go underneath the arch, but any of the surface of the soles of your feet, there are corresponding meridian points that go to that. So they will correspond to different organs in the body itself. And I found for myself, whenever I tried it, one, my energy really improved. So for everybody that has been struggling with the grounding, and especially with the sheer exhaustion from all of these ascension symptoms that have been coming in, I've been using the Himalayan salt in my shoes and changing them out probably about once a day, twice a day, pretty much whenever my energy level starts to go down. I gotta admit for myself, I've been doing this now for about a week, and the results have been really impressive. It's a very balancing energy for me. And the other cool thing is, since it is absorbing through and it is salt, it is bypassing. It's bypassing the gastrointestinal system, which sometimes, if you take antibiotics, can really throw your digestion for a loop. With the salt, the very first morning that I woke up after doing it, I was coughing, which you normally, everybody's like, oh, I don't want to do that. But it was literally killing things off that was at the bottom of my lungs. So I was coughing it up and out. Now, about 3 decades ago, I had a really bad virus. And so it's always left the bottom 2/3 of my lungs a mess. The oxygen really couldn't get to it. And that was the first thing that I noticed, was I was able to take a full lung, full deep breath. And the sinuses, the roots of my teeth were just incredible. The nice thing about it is almost everybody has got just salt laying around. I really would recommend, if you can do it, to do like a Himalayan rock salt or a Celtic sea salt. If you only have regular table salt in a pinch, maybe give it a try just to see. And the nice thing about it is you can just give it a try. Just see what your own body thinks. And I've been really encouraging people, as we go forward, you really are the authority on you. You're going to find sometimes things will agree with your body and sometimes it won't. So just give it a try, and won't hurt anything. It's pretty cheap. So I did it for both feet. Utica is asking me left or right feet. I did it for both. I did it in both shoes. So let me go back up, hide. Oh, that's amazing. Really. I hadn't heard of that story. I've only got bits and pieces from the desert dwellers. Although I will say, about 3 years ago, I had a very, it came to me in my meditations. And I have a habit sometimes of making up words. So when it came in, I thought it was a made up word, and it was the syllables. You guys are going to laugh, that knows it, Tonopah. And at first, literally, like I said, I know Tono, or Tona, is the star symbol. It's the star gate, for it's the sign of the Southern Cross. Tona is, which for the wombats, that's our Stargate. So at first I thought, well, maybe I'd been hearing it wrong, but no, it was very distinctful. It was very Tonopah. And that very same night, my husband suddenly had flipped on, golly, what was that? It was like an old John Wayne. It was black and white. It was either John Wayne or like something crazy like Laurel and Hardy. But it was, oh, no. It was a Charlie Chan. And, but that was just it. It was a black and white show from the 1930s. And suddenly it was set in Tonopah. And so it's that connection to the Anasazi, not the Hopi, but the Anasazi. So I think that there is some connections that go through that. So I'm going to scroll back up and see if we have other questions. The energy. Let's see. So the energy this week. Wow. Updates on the energy. Yeah. My energy has been, it was interesting. 2 nights ago, I was driving in a town named Tillamook, which is further south of where I live. And normally, because it was at nighttime, normally we go down and then we will hang a right to go towards the beaches. Or there is an old loop road that goes over and out of town. And so we went that way. We had turned, we were going through the old city grid, and my body knew that we had missed the turn. And all of a sudden, it wasn't the distress over missing the turn because it's a city grid. So if you miss one road, you just go one road down and then you take a left and you're still on the same grid. So you'll still find your road, your street. Uh, but we turned, we came to the four-way stop. But even before we came to the four-way stop, I had this headache sensation, but this thing came down over the top of my head and just this overwhelming nausea. And I honestly, began to do the review of what did I eat? Have I got a case of food poisoning? Did I come in contact with somebody? Am I coming down with a 24-hour flu buggy thing? Oh my God, I think I'm going to throw up maybe. And as we came to a full stop, I looked over to my right and we had stopped right next to a funeral home. And at the same time, the streetlight overhead began flashing on and off. And I thought, and that's just it. I said out loud, I said, I got it. I understand. We're leaving. And that was just it. We had made our appropriate stop. We had rolled forward and I instantly told my husband and he's like, man, I thought that was just me. And I just got hit with the nausea thing and the headache thing too. And as we rolled forward, what I did was just simply sent everything up into the light. I usually, if it's something that is in my aura, I will cleanse and clear it and get it out of my space again. And then I believe everybody survived it. Yesterday morning, there was a car wreck that happened on the highway. And everybody's Highway 101 in most places is a 2-lane road. It is a winding country road, a thin river that will wind through all of our coastal towns. And it was a head-on. We have a 90-degree turn that happens at the bend of the river after 2 straightaways. One was a work truck who should have known better. But, I think that magnetically that they were intending to be on the same path and they created a head-on. Thankfully, they went ahead and were not that far from a hospital. The emergency services came in. But, after an impact like that, truthfully, we thought one of the guys was going to be transitioning. So I did what I needed to do. Everybody else was doing the physical thing quite well. And what I needed to do was I needed to instantly clean and clear and change. I collapsed the stories that were going on. I collapsed the energies that was in my vicinity and in my environment to change that. I did hesitate about telling anybody about that because I am about having very high energy, very, very strong energy going forward. And that's just it. Sometimes these things hit us in the moment, and you need to have your practices on what to do. Are you going to do, some people will use, like Annie Bear, she's going to burn sage. Other people will reach for their rosary beads and will begin praying. Other people, exactly. And that was pretty much what I was doing. I was setting him up to go ahead and return into the light if need be. But more importantly, I was collapsing all of the energy that was in and around whatever created that to begin with. I don't need to know the story. I don't need to know what those guys were doing that put them into that frequency, but I did need to collapse instantly because it did not affect, thank God, my property did not have its boundary breached that I had set. But the concussion from that did penetrate into the boundary that I have set. And so I'm simply bringing it up because, as we go through, especially if you live in a city, these events do happen. Go ahead and have your own morning meditations or whatever in place that you can do very quickly so that you can do this stuff on the fly as it comes up and give it the time that it needs. If it needs more time, like yesterday morning, I spent probably about an hour and a half doing Lemurian technologies. So I've had feelings of the melancholy come up. It's a strange homesick feeling, but for times that never were. Actually, Teresa Ford, what you might be having coming up, that homesick feeling, Sometimes it can be an echo of a life that we've had. But the other thing that it can be is that you are beginning to step into um, the new energies that we're coming into, because this is planet Matea, and it is the fifth coming home of planet Matea to here. Our planet Earth has upgraded again, but that's also going to bring back the memories and some of the melancholy and some of the I miss that. And I think everybody's had it, where at the very core essence of you, you ache for a place that really isn't even located here on planet Earth. And so that may very well be an echo from what happened between Lemuria and Atlantis, when Atlantis fell. And the main thing on it is just allow it to be. A lot of times as we're going forward, it's going to be, I won't say it, kind of like fading away, but it's not really fading. It interweaves into your energy system so that you're more in balance with what's going on. Let me see right quick. I know we had several different questions that I've been catching from people. So I actually wrote down notes. Oh, you're so welcome. That's just it. Annie Bear had it requested, since a lot of us have been exhausted lately, to go ahead and to do a carbon base to crystalline base. And so I went ahead and I created an MP3 for that. And so that's located in my store. If you go to debbydement.com, you can go over to, there's a link right underneath the kitty cat picture. That will take you to my MP3s. I believe it's on the same MP3 page. Better be. Otherwise, I'll have to go back through. There go my lights again. This is interesting. I've had light things happening as well. I think I'm being stalked by a spirit or an upgrade. So we live in interesting times. But you know, when I first started my Lemurian journey, it was called Navigators of the First Light. And the indicator on that was learning to navigate your own canoe. And part of that, any kayaker will know, you do go through the rapids. You are practicing what works best for you, and learning to navigate as we go forward through this new time. Let me see. So, oh yeah, somebody else. Interesting. That somebody else, whoever has this trouble, they're actually here, because my throat just closed. Someone said that they had done a remote viewing, but you hadn't felt good since then. To begin with, if you're going to practice remote viewing, I always recommend that you start remote viewing in your own home. So give it a try laying in your bed, but just remote viewing something like your kitchen, or remote viewing like your living room. You're going to want to do it in a safer confine, because sometimes whenever you get yourself flung out there like that, that can cause problems. This is going to speak back to one of the cards that we had pulled this week, and that was Journey to Wholeness, with Feke Feke, which is the octopus type theme. Let me see if I can find it again. This is for our hummingbirds this week. Tirani. So, for the person that had the remote viewing trouble, I'm speaking to you, honey. It's kind of like this person. You know, she's a combination of Feke Feke, which is the octopi. And she's placed bits and pieces of herself out into the universe inadvertently. And that's kind of what you've done. You're still connected to yourself. And so what you need to do is imagine or call into any pieces of myself that feel lost or misplaced or are not here. I call them through the central sun, through our sun, which is where our Stargate is coming through right now, because the undistorted light is coming from the central sun, will carry your pieces together through the Stargate of our central sun this month, Wahi. and then can come to your own body, your own soul. And if you don't feel comfortable with pulling it back that way, you can just imagine Mother Earth coming up with tendrils and wrapping herself around you and restoring. Your soul is always going to be able to drop in through your core, and you can feel it coming in and in down your spine all the way and try to ground it into the soles of your feet. Utica, I've been feeling nauseous for the last 3 days. Is it the throat chakra being worked? I think it's the throat chakra being worked on, but there are some challenges that are coming in through the throat chakra where I don't even like to call it this, but we have the political game that's going on right now, and you have both sides, which is, I'll say it again, for the people in the back who haven't heard this before, politics is a 2D entity creation, and it was created that way to divide people so that nobody is happy. Everybody is distressed. And so both sides feel like they cannot be heard, or both sides feel like they have to self-censor. Now, some of that is just plain old discernment. You know, you don't want to walk up to a 6-year-old and go, God, that was really stupid. Why'd you do that? Just don't do that. That's just me. And so you want to be discerning as you talk to the other side, but at the same time, you still want to be able to convey and feel safe enough to be able to convey and express your emotions. Now, in some cases, like I said, in the case of the 2D entity construction, which is politics, they created that in order to feed off of anything that you will give them, any energy-wise. And that means any distress that you give off, any fear that you give off, any anger, disgust, hate, shame, guilt, blame. These are the lowest frequencies that we have. So you want to be discerning and mindful of what you're giving to them. Just pattern interrupt. You don't like it? Go watch a silly kitty cat video or something else that will quickly make you laugh so that you will get up onto a higher frequency. Hi, Paul. How you doing? Yeah, Annie Bear, right quick. Our sun currently, it's not a portal, it's an actual Stargate. And you would not believe, I mean, there's so much going on with the sun. I mean, I've done meridian balancing, but you can also do a meditation where you take your consciousness up to the sun, and you will meet. You can meet your dragons. There are all kinds of people that live up there, though. But it is called Wahi, and that is the Stargate that our central sun, and that's just it. The undistorted light that is coming from the central sun is coming through for the month of September, and the essence is peace. And it is then shining from our light, our sun, onto the planet so that we all get the upgrade from that. That's where it's coming from. Yeah, Wahi. And yeah, that's the sign of the dove. The essence on that is peace. The other thing that you can be doing to be calming and soothing this week is going to be, to interrupt right quick, just do this right quick. I know the dragons themselves, but I am not a huge dragon person. So I'm not an authority on that. I've had dragons coming and going, like everybody has their own personal dragon. And in some cases, people will have several. And that, doing a quick meditation to go up into the sun, you can then meet and greet your own personal dragon, which is kind of fun. And you can ask them to just sit and talk to you. You can even ask them things like, do you have a message for me? Is there something that I need to do? Something that I need to maybe put my focus onto? So getting back to the peace piece with Annie Bear, for this month, that is the essence of this month. This month is Namu, sign of the dove, just like she's showing. Anything that is 600 hertz, that's HZ hertz, frequency or above, that will help to align your energy system, the whole of your energy body, into that peace frequency or above. A lot of times humans are running anywhere between, golly, 150 to, if we're lucky on a good day, we might even be able to get it up around 300, which is why we go ahead and we do a lot of the frequency music and a lot of the Lemurian stuff, and we do the energy balancing as we come in. And it helps us to go up, 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 up. Can we do Lemurian codes? Let me see this right quick. Connecting to Mother Earth. I was told I was given a baby dragon about 3 months ago. Not able to connect to it. Okay, Utica. Well, one of the things that I'm hearing you can do with that is to go ahead and cuddle it and hold it. And baby dragons may take a while. You know, they are a reptile and they do need to keep warm and everything. So just imagine cuddling them. It may be that or unless the dragon was already hatched. I keep seeing an egg, and that may be it too. If you actually have a dragon already there, because it keeps presenting itself as an egg, in which case you may need to sit with that like a parrot on a nest for a little bit with that and hold that connection. It may be that it simply has not hatched out of its egg just yet. I don't know who had asked. Somebody had asked something about my energy healing that I do for the animals. And so what I'm going to say for that is any of the actual energy healing, like the meridian clearing, I'm going to be on a show with Allie at Heart and Soul Connected tomorrow. That'll be tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So with that, go ahead and bring your question for that over to hers if you could. Let's see, I wanted to get through. Okay, so someone had asked also, wow, Leah, you're so lucky. Congratulations. Oh, okay, so hypnicity, it was for Rascal. Yeah, if we could do that with Rascal tomorrow morning, would that be okay? I just thought it would be easier than on Allie's show. Standing in the light with Annie Bear, I don't know about the bat medicine. Shameless plug. Karen, but she is true. I have worked on her animals for quite some time. Quite some time. Yeah, and so the MP3s that she was talking about, again, if you go to www.dement.com, underneath the kitten picture is the link. And I'm going to give you a heads up too, because I'm going to be doing some back end work on my stuff. So it may shift around, but it will take you to my shop link to the MP3s. So that is, you play the MP3, and what happens is kind of like brain entrainment, or like if you see, this is so cool. It's a resonant string. I don't know if any of you have ever seen that, but you have 2 acoustic guitars on either side of the room. You pluck a string on one side of the room, the other guitar completely untouched, it will begin to vibrate, which is so cool. But that is a great visualization of what's happening, because I'm putting it out there on a quantum level, what I want your meridians to do. And it is a specific flow, a specific pattern. And then what's going to happen is your own energy will then align to that higher frequency. It will align to the correct flow and the correct pattern that I have embedded on those MP3s. The beauty of it is that you can play those MP3s on a loop. You can play, it's like having me only at your fingertips. You know, the reason that I even went to the MP3s was there was so many times that I'd be asleep and Karen would be having a crisis with one of her cats. I mean, cats, of course, get sick at like 3 a.m. and I wouldn't know until I, would wake up in the morning and suddenly I would see, the list of, oh my God, my cat. And of course I would leap into action then for a one-on-one session. But when we put that onto an MP3, that meant she was capable of going ahead and helping her kitty cats when I was not available. So. Ah, how sweet. I do love peanut butter. Mm. Oh, yeah. So you had that same thing. Isn't that strange? Oh my God. Ah. So your cat was already tuning itself. Ah, love it. I bet he was pulling the string and then actually listening to it. Cats are cats are pretty wild. Okay. I'm gonna get back to my list because, like I said, I took notes on you guys. So the other thing, somebody else was asking earlier, be discerning. You really are the authority on you. One of my fastest, easiest things to do is to simply close your eyes because we tend to be visual creatures. Humans are. And so a good 80% of our brain is then used by our visual cortex. So if you close your eyes, you'll be able to feel much better into your body if you can. And then just state your name, but say a false name and then feel into your body what your body feels like. A lot of times, like for me, I'll give you an example. I'll feel my throat close, or I will feel my stomach sour or close. That's a no. That's a big no for me. Sometimes my heart will feel like something is clenching it. So those are my no signals. My body's telling me no, this is not the right thing for me. And then what you can do is say your true name. Say the name that you know you are, and then again, with your eyes closed, feel into that. How does your body feel? A lot of times for me, I'll feel a lifting sensation. My throat will be open. My heart will usually have a really, nice sensation emanating from it. But you're gonna feel in your own body what your yes and nos are. The important thing is listen when somebody is telling you information or you're getting news or something like that. Always consider the source. But you can close your eyes. You can even take a long blink if you need. But what you're doing is you're asking your own body silently, you can say, is this true for me? Find out if that information is really going to work for you. You can do this with your food. And I really suggest that right now because literally we are going from a carbon based system. We were birthed into a carbon based system for a reason. We were living in 26,000 years of a carbon based 3D world. We are now moving to the age of Aquarius, which is planet Matea. If you are here, that's Lemuria 5. That's a crystalline base. So we're literally doing the caterpillar into the butterfly transformation, and that's why we're hitting the exhaustion. But it's also with our foods. So what may be supporting for you right now, today, may not be supporting for you tomorrow. And sometimes the broccoli will agree with you, sometimes it won't. Sometimes you need sugar, sometimes you don't. Honestly, I would say nope. But like in the event of yesterday, I knew for myself that I wanted to have a little bit of, funny enough, you should mention peanut butter because that's exactly what I reached for. A little bit of peanut butter boost to overcome some of the shock. And that was just it. I recognized that I was in body shock from the concussion from the accident that happened in front of the house. Anger can be helpful if you are in a state of apathy, shame, guilt. The anger actually is higher on the frequency scale for energy, for activity, and anger can help be a motivating factor. If you are standing up to someone, say, and reestablishing or establishing for the first time your boundaries, anger can be helpful. If you don't do something constructive with it, however, anger can be very toxic to your internal organs. Unfortunately, there was a friend of my family whenever I was a child, and he had road rage, and he ended up dying from a heart attack because he never could get that under control. So you do need to be, it's a double-edged sword with that one. Got to be careful. So let me see. Okay. So yeah, you need to be discerning. And this is the other Aquarian technology or Aquarian outlook on life, but they're freedom based. And so for them, they are their own authority figure. In the age of Capricorn, for the old Western astrology, in the age of Capricorn, you had one person at the top of the totem pole. And so everybody looked up to the person on the totem pole. In the age of Aquarius, you are the only person on your totem pole, meaning you get to be the authority. But that also means, with discernment and with power comes responsibility. So that means you're going to have to start stepping up and play with it. Go ahead and play with it. We are going to be in a unity consciousness. And so everybody's going to be equal. And so what I visualize this is each person standing on their own 2 feet and then working as a team, which is amazing. Okay. The other things that you can do, because some of the other troubles that people were having were grounding. So sometimes you can feel really exhausted. The other thing that we've been having, and some people will attribute them to the solar flares, the CMEs that are coming in, and that is insomnia. You're going to get an energy boost, but it's like a not helpful energy boost. And so the other thing that you can do with that is definitely go ahead and unplug from your electronics. Yes, we love our phones. Yes, we love our computers. Yes, we love. But if you can disconnect from that, go read a book. You can even plot out handwritten recipes if you like cooking. Go ahead and plot out your recipes for the next day or something. But the main thing is you'll want at least half an hour to unwind and disconnect from the electronics, because it's not just the blue light that's coming out from the screen itself. You're also being bathed in the EMFs from that. And so as the photons are coming in from the central sun, it is doing extra excitations to our own nervous system. So this is just one way that you can use to help ground you and calm. We're little mushos, huh? Teresa Ford, you are correct. Peanut butter! I know. Oh. Have you ever tried bacon wrapped around a spear of a pickle? Oh, my word. At first I thought I wasn't sure I would like that. I gotta warn you. That is so good. I think I ate like 3 spears of pickles. Oops. That's just a little slightly too good. The other things that you can do too is stay away from the news, which is ridiculous. It's just a story anyways. And for that, I do say with the stories, and that's part of why I am using the Lemurian technologies. You can find on my YouTube page, there is a Lemurian recentering and relaxing. If you've encountered something that has created a story, kind of like what happened yesterday with the incident yesterday morning, I began using these technologies. I began doing the 2 techniques that were in that video, and you'll find it under my videos. There's only 2 videos. And it helped to collapse that story, which quite frankly, that's all news is. And caffeine. That was a heck of a boom. Hopefully it was just the rock cord. Sometimes we have a rock cord across the street. Sometimes they have some really loud booms come from that. Okay. So, caffeine. Yeah. Sometimes you need caffeine. Ooh, pickles and peanut butter. Oh, yeah. Love that. Sometimes caffeine's helpful. It can give you a boost, a lift. But it's any way you cut it, it's going to overstimulate your nervous system. And right now, like I said, we're getting so much. The photons are a packet of energy. They are a packet of electricity that's coming from the central sun. And it is already adding to the stress load that we already have. And again, the 2D entities, they feed off of our electricity. They're parasites. And so they have overstimulated us. They've gotten us hooked on caffeine because when you're using caffeine, it is an energy source that's borrowing from further down the road. You're using a compression of energy that you and normally would be using throughout your day, and so you'll end up with like the afternoon crash. And so, if you're feeling like you can't go to sleep at night, do not go cold turkey. If you've been having something like 8 cups of coffee, don't do that to yourself. But what you can do is you can back off of that, and you can try 6 cups of coffee in a day. Try 4 cups of coffee in a day. But give yourself a good 3 days in between weaning down on your caffeine. Because what's going to happen is, as you wean off, there are receptors in your brain that have been having that molecule, that caffeine molecule, in place. So as that caffeine goes away, the end receptor will have new blood flow, and it will try to create a sensation. And a lot of times that'll express itself as migraines or pains. And so if you wean yourself carefully and slowly, you can certainly unload some of that headache. Yeah, that's just the headache. And it's a screamer. And there's nothing you can do if you've done that except give yourself just a little bit of the caffeine, as you try to back off of it. But what'll happen is after about 3 days, day and a half, the receptors that are on the end of those neurons will then finish their reset, and then it won't give you that same headache than if you don't have the caffeine in place. Let's see, what else do I have? Quiet time. This is the other thing that I'm really going to recommend for everybody as we're going forward, especially as everybody's all keyed up over the big games. You're going to want to take your quiet time, play with your pets, take your dog for walks, groom them, brush your kitty cats, interact with them, play some cat games, and spend time with your pets if you can. Also spend quiet time with yourself. You can do this as reflexation. That's a combination of relaxation and reflection at the same time. You can do meditations. You can do contemplation exercises. I know there's a lot of different Buddhist techniques that you can do. We're starting to go into the fall season here, so you can hug a tree. As soon as the temperatures start to relax, you can, if you can't get outside, if it's still being a booger energy wise, what you can do is you can imagine. Our brains can't tell the difference between what's real and what's imagined. Now, that's pretty potent. So that means that you can imagine or watch a YouTube video. If you can't conjure the image yourself, you can imagine yourself taking a hike in the woods. People have got all kinds of GoPro videos where you can go for a horse ride. We're going on a trail ride, or you've got other people that are like taking a hike or showing you a waterfall. And so follow them along if you can't imagine it on your own to help calm you down. Yeah, Leah's saying nature signs. Nature signs are great. Any of the frequency music, so things like 741. I think it's 147, which is for hertz for the pain. So if you have pain symptoms, you can play that on a loop as well. Yeah, that'd be cool, Paul. You're gonna have a party with 10-year-olds. Oh my word. Oh my word. Have fun with that. I would recommend if you can get them outside, because they're going to be sugared up from the cake. Something safely contained. Yeah, and did someone say shenanigans? Again, there's plenty of half-calf options. You can do different teas. There's some amazing herbal teas too that give you that sensation of enjoying your cup, because it's that warm cup. It's the ritual that you're going through in the morning that a lot of people were reaching for. And so it doesn't really matter what's in the cup for some people. I mean, don't get me wrong. Some people are really, really into their cuppa. But you can change that around as well. Um, and I'm seeing some people mentioning some of the mushroom stuff. If you can, dried reishi, the dried mushrooms are great. Um, you can do the reishi, you can do the cordyceps. I love it because it tastes to me like chocolate. And it will give you an energy boost, but it is a different energy boost. It's not the caffeine, jar and then drop. You don't have that roller coaster. It gives you the energy boost, but it tapers off gradually. And the nice thing about using the mushrooms is that any of them will boost your immune system. As we're headed into the fall, especially those that are further north, be sure that you keep up with your vitamin D3 so you can avoid something that's called SAD, which is seasonal. Oh, help me out, SAD people. I know you're going to remember this better than me. Seasonal something disorder. I can't remember what the second letter is for, which is kind of crazy because usually it's right on the tip of my tongue. But basically what happens is you naturally get a vitamin D3 from the sunlight. As the sunlight drops off in the wintertime, it can lead to instances of depression. If you can, thank you. Seasonal affective disorder. It's just simply seasonal affective disorder. And so what happens is that you're going into a nutritional deficiency. Yep. And you can increase your vitamin D3. Mushrooms are an amazing source of vitamin D3. And the cool thing about them is that they will fix, if you put them in the sunlight, like your dried mushrooms, if you expose them to sunlight for just a few minutes, it will fix vitamin D3 even in that dried mushroom. And so as long as you're not allergic to the mushrooms, add them into absolutely everything. Teresa Ford, I can nurse 2 cups of coffee all day long. It's sacrilege, but I'm a cocoa drinker. I have tried and tried, but I am just not a coffee drinker. It's just not my thing, which is fine because that gives plenty of other people loads of coffee to drink then. I know, right? Did some. I love that. That was such a fun scene from The Hobbit. No. That was not The Hobbit. Fellowship of the Ring. Yeah. The beginning mushroom scene. Tripping. Actually, yeah. And again, it's making you laugh. But yeah, the mushrooms themselves. Yeah. Yep. If you can expose the mushrooms to 15 minutes of sunlight before cooking and at any time, because it will affix the vitamin D3 in there. Yeah, I do too. I love the movies. I got to see them in the movie theater, and it was one of my favorite. The Lord of the Rings and the Hobbit cycles both. I just loved that world. It was a lot of fun. Whoops, Paul. You're not going to be happy with me. I'm going to warn you about Diet Coke. Anything that contains aspartame. I would be much happier if you would actually drink a real Coke other than aspartame, because aspartame is, let's just say it's not healthy for the body. And it is another one that's going to be doing some not very good things to your body. So if you can back away from drinking the Diet Coke and actually substitute it with a real Coke, if you can find it, the Mexican Coke is still made with real sugar instead of the American junky one that's got all the high fructose corn syrup in it, which is a big no-no. Yeah, I'm not even going to begin to tell you what all's going on, but suffice it to say, I saved a man over in England that he was drinking a ton of diet sodas. And that was just it. It causes instant headaches. He was literally having huge neurological disorders. He was in the hospital. They couldn't figure out what the problem was. Um, and quite frankly, they were scared they were going to lose him. And I warned his mother. I said, get him weaned as quickly as you can off the aspartame. And so she did. He made a full instant recovery. And believe me, they have been warning all of their friends and family about aspartame since then. I would rather you drink the real deal and just drink a little bit less of it. It will be safer for your body. Used to drink soda all day, quit once I left the job that provided it. Can't go back now. I know, right? It's crazy. Our bodies adapt so much when we kick something off and then you go back to it and it's like, whoa, I can't believe I was actually drinking that. Yeah, it tastes gross when you're not used to it. I agree. It's kind of shocking. Paul Freed. Yeah, definitely look into it. I just really don't want to blurt it out here on an open mic, but if you're interested, you can hit me up through the contact me page on my website and or through my shop, and I will reply to you in more detail. But just suffice it to say, it is really, really not good for your nervous system. And that's just it. Right now, we're trying to preserve our nervous system, so we're looking at our diets and trying to see what's supportive to us right now. And again, the nice thing about if you start adding in more mushrooms to your diets, as long as you're not allergic to it, the mushrooms actually will give you a really good boost of protein. So for those that are on more of a vegan or a vegetarian style lifetime, you can absolutely boost your protein intake by adding the mushrooms. And again, they're amazing with boosting your immune system. They're really supportive for the nerves. Mushrooms really are. And I'm not picky. I've got a lot of people and they keep asking me specific ones. I don't care which ones you grab. I really don't. Some of them are nicer, like lion's mane's amazing for the brain. If you have trouble with seizures, or if you've had somebody who's had a stroke suffering from the grand mals, and they're doing the rebuilding afterwards, the lion's mane would be the one that I would suggest using. But any of them are really good for the nerves, good for the brains. Yeah, well, let's just say that aspartame is just not human friendly. Yeah, some people are finding too that the sugar that we have now. Well, and that was just it. That the chefs understood that if you add sugar, salt, and fat to a food, it will help to cover flavor-wise subpar, sub-quality foods. So if that's like me, if I have encountered something like a meat and they've like bathed it in garlic or something, I'm looking at that going, I don't think I really want to eat that. You're really dressing it up. I don't know about that. Hubby does Mexican. My hubby loves Mexican Coke. And at least they're still, and keep an eye on it, because right now the Mexican Coke they use sugar. Kind of like what we used to have here in the 80s, before high fructose corn syrup got jammed into absolutely everything. So I feel like Radagast minus the poo. Yeah, mushrooms are wonderful. Okay, so I think I've gotten through everything. Oh, I take that back. I had one more thing that I was going to suggest as well. So walking does help with the grounding, and Annie Bear is a beautiful example of that. She does tons of walking every day. But if you can do some version not only of walking, but what it's going to do is any activity that will cross your left to right it crosses the midline. So like when you're walking, you automatically are swinging your hands across the midline of your body. That's going to help to balance the two halves of your brain. And again, it will also help your electrical system to reset and to ground at the same time. Whoa, Annie Bear. I drink half lemonade, half Chardonnay at home in the evening. Wow, that kind of sounds yummy. Kind of like a wine cooler. Cool. Yeah, yeah. The Business Costco in Linwood, Washington carries the Mexican Coke. Yeah, for myself, I've just kind of weaned off of sugar as much as I can. Yesterday's peanut butter, I think, was the most sugar I've had in months. I mean, I had it for my birthday back in June, but I've been trying to avoid the sugar, and it's just to give my body a space to do what it's going to do. Go meditate next to a river for over a year. Beautiful. Yeah, yeah, absolutely, Utica. You can, and that's what I was suggesting. Take, uh, Go ahead and go to YouTube and use. Look for a video that's going to be doing that imagery, and then you can imagine that so that it will help your body to go ahead and calm and ground itself right now. If you go into like my acupuncturist, she's usually got some sort of calming, soothing video on or music in the background. So it helps to offload your nervous system. And yeah, Bora Bora, happy birthday season. Happy birthday again to everybody that's got a birthday this month. We are in Namu, which is the sign of the dove. Well, and Hypnicity is saying the US doesn't care. Doesn't care. And again, it's an opportunity for us to step in and go into our own sovereignty and say, no, I'm not going to eat that. It may be available, might be right in front of me, but I'm not going to eat that. I'm going to choose something that might be some more supportive for us. So have fun at work. Glad you stopped by. Thank you, Paul. Cool. Neat. Did someone say shenanigans? I definitely have the habit of predicting what's going to happen and trying to move all the pieces into place. But if you ask me what's going on or why, I'm like, trust me, you'll see. Well, and there again, you're navigating, you're moving your canoe into place. So and there again, what works for you may not work for somebody else. That's kind of like the little tip that I gave earlier for the salt. That was something that came across my YouTube feed, and I tried it for me. I've suggested it to people. It might work for your allergies, or it might work for your tooth infections, or it might work for detoxing your body or giving you the energy and to help ground. But literally, until you try it for you, you're not going to know. Wow, that sounds kind of cool. Judy Kylan's saying, I use organic coconut sugar in my cacao. Neat. You're welcome, Utica. Yeah, I'll bet it does. Gives it a bump. Miss living in Oregon, the air is different here. Florida doesn't. Yeah, and that's just it. Because I've lived in a whole bunch of different places as well. And marriage is a compromise. Yeah. But put it out there to them, because it's like, buddy, we're going to have to figure something out. Give them a 5-year plan or a 3-year plan or something, because you should both be in a space that is working for your body. And it's different. You've got some people will get into the mountains, like the Rocky Mountains or the Alleghenies and the Catskills, and they just soar. Their energy system just absolutely soars in that. And then you get other people that are in the mountains, and they feel scared. They feel like they're about to float off into space. It's not supportive to them. So, and then in other spaces, like in the Delta states, or in Louisiana, they'll feel so much of the magnetics in that region that it will feel like they're being sucked down or pulled down. So it's just, and yet for other people, it's not that suffocating sensation. It'll be the um, it, feeling like Mother Earth is giving you a warm hug. So really, it just depends on you, and where you're at. I want to say it was astro.com, that used to do it, where you could key in your Western astrology chart, and they would come up with a chart that would be a geological map of what would be supportive for you in the energy. But at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide. Traveling around is really helpful. You can figure out, some places just feel better. Like for me, when I came to Oregon and the Oregon coast, oh, it did it for me. I've always wanted to live in the Pacific Northwest. I came from the Midwest, and I just I love the cold. I love the gray. I love the rain. I absolutely adore the overcast and the rain. And so for me, the 50-degree weather year round is just perfect. And so it's just it to me, it's where I need to be. Don't know how to read that chart. Did it before and it was lines crossing the map. Mine, when I did it a few years ago, Teresa Ford, on astro.com, they just simply said, yeah, this is going to be more supportive for you. And this isn't, and there again, they were saying places where I'm like, ain't no way I'm going to travel there. I don't care what your little map says. Oh, wow. How interesting. My map says India, and you've lived on the West Coast. Now, how cool is that? Maybe go for a trip or something if you feel moved to do it. Florida's Pisces. Florida has, if I remember correctly, a wee bit of the Atlantean energies there. No, actually, Annie, it's hang on a second, I'll bring it over so everybody can see a little clearer. This is Lemurian technology. And it was created by another Huna for Huna Flash from the wisdoms that he was bringing forward. And so this is transformation and transcendence. And it's a code. It is different Lemurian technologies. And so if I bring it in closer, we're going to see, you can see some of the motu on that outer grid, like Okapi at the very top. That's the forest giraffe. Then you have Kahuku. Annie Bear, there's your kitty. That's the sign of the lamb. That's Namu. At the very bottom, we have the wombat, so that's Kopunui. Totoroa, I think. No, that one's Kaka. I'm going backward here. Patwa, Namu. So the other way would be Totoroa, Tuatara, Onu for sea turtles, and then Tirani, Hia. But on the inside of that is showing the different day sequences. And so throughout the week, our days are actually different. Like yesterday, for Monday, we could say Monday, but it's Rehu for the sign of the dolphin. Today is Maki, which is the sign of the orca. Wednesday is going to be Wipaka, which is the crab. Thursday is Tika, which is the sign of the fish, and that's peace. And then Friday is Toho, which is celebration. and that's the sign of the whale, the humpback whale. Saturday is Unrasa, which is the breath. And then Sunday is Unrata, which is the gathering. I think I have that correct. And that's just it. It's the whole thing is a counterclockwise spiral. So sometimes even just observing that, you'll get that vortex, that spiraling motion from it. And then the inner is the representation of Ma'ita, the very center, and then the crystal light of days for each month, which is the Motu. And then each of these symbols that are around that, those are all transmutation codes. And what this is doing, because as I was saying earlier, we were birthed into a carbon-based system. The systems that we were given, the numerology even that we were given to us by 2D entities that were using 4D technologies to control us. So even just saying Monday, that is a key code. As my throat closes, that is a key code. That is blocking some of our energy. And so what's happened is when I say Monday, the undistorted light that has come in and the undistorted light that is expressing myself as Huna Kama Roja, if I say Monday, it's giving a distortion, a filter in between me and you. Now, if I say Unra Rehu instead, the day of the dolphin, that is going to hit your energy field and will work to undistort the previous filters. So little by little, it's undoing those old codes. Orcas, you get to walk by Puget Sound. I really don't have any books. You know, I learned from a fellow that's on YouTube named Huna Flash, and you can find him at Huna Flash, Huna. So I'm going to put it in here for you. He has each week, he does his lives on Sunday. And if you have questions direct, he will invite you onto his StreamYard so you can be face to face and you can ask him your questions. And so he's the one that I learned from. He's also he is Maori. He entered into the mystery school when he was 7 years old. He's 60 years old now. So anytime that I have questions, I always go back to him. And so I learned from him. I took a course from him. Originally it was called Navigators of the First Light. Now it's called Dragon Masters. And I took about 3 years. And that's just it. See, some of the people that have encountered me, Randy's one of them, but a lot of people, whenever they encounter me, they will be exhausted. Suddenly it's like, I got to go take a nap right now. And the reason why is because your outer energy field is interacting with my own energy field, and I am emitting some of the codes, and your body is remembering those codes. That's the cool thing, because we've all been here. Anybody that's actually listening to me, you're already Lemurian. The fact that you have actually found me, yeah, and it is counterclockwise spirals to undo what they have done, to undo the old 2D entity programming. And like I said, I understand it. They did it because they needed to survive, just like any parasite will. But we are moving into a time frame where, again, everybody gets to stand on their own 2 feet. And that means them too. So we don't need to be a part of their equations then. Have I read The Bone People, Powerful Maori Tale? I have not. Like I said, about the only thing that I have looked at or known from with the Maori has been, it has come from Huna Flash. And when I came across his stuff, that was back in 2021. I actually had dolphins and whales show up in my morning meditations. Normally, my stuff that I do in the morning, I do my own energy balancing. I work with energy with different people and animals that I usually work with in the mornings. People that need some help, or critters that need some help. And then I am balancing free and clear on my own energy first. So it's me, my own house, my own region, and then particular people as I go forward. Now, I had whales and dolphins that came into my field, and they shoved me to learn this from Huna Flash. Oh, now that's interesting, Teresa Ford. So you're learning from reading versus the hearing. You know, it's not so much a misfiring in your memory banks. It's just simply that's how your brain is wired. That's what it's doing. Some people, they have to actually do things hands-on, kind of like in school, regular school. That's why they will show it to you. You'll read it. You'll hear it from the teacher, but then they'll make you go do homework, and that is so that you can get your hands into it, and you can learn a lot more just by doing that, because that's hitting 3 different levels of learning. And good on you for knowing. And yes, counterclockwise will absolutely teach us, and it is the undoing. It is the counterclockwise motion to undo what has been put in place. So there's a lot of times whenever I'm driving or riding, and I will be having literally my fingers just doing counterclockwise motions the whole time. Wow, that's cool. The stone chamber in Indonesia. Yep. She'll remember. And the crying, that's also expressed as Tani, the tears of the dragon. And again, Utica, I'm going to say it again. Watch it, imagine, tell yourself that you are there, you, not her. You are going through, and you may not have the tears. You could, but get yourself into that space to where you're watching and allow your own body to have that experience yourself. Go ahead and allow yourself to have it right now. Yeah. You want me to teach you the real names for each day next? Great. Well, the dolphins were the ones that bumped me to do our astrology straight off the bat. But yeah, each day has its own, like I said, its own thing, its own symbol. And definitely always with the counterclockwise. I'm just scrolling back up. Stopped by Huna Flash. Let me see here. Stopped by Huna Flash the other day. Oh, yeah, it can be for the people who have attended his school, but it's also literally for everybody. If you have a question, stop in. If it's something that I can't catch, which some of the stuff I can't, because like I said, he had intensive training in the actual mystery school. So everything that I have learned has directly come from him. And I learned from him because that was the person that the dolphin said, here, you need to learn this. Now, when you are learning this stuff, like if you take the course, if you get sealed by Huna Flash, one, let me know. Because each of the Huna essences that are revealed, it also helps to upgrade each and every one of us as we come online. Because what he's doing in that particular ceremony is he is revealing your actual name essence, is taking it back to the essence, to the sound. You are here at this moment in time for a reason. And then, yeah, there's a whole bunch of protocols, a whole bunch of Lemurian technologies that are taught. Navigators of the First Course has been rebranded into Dragon Masters course, I think is the name of it now. But it does take time for your energy system to upgrade. When you have your seal ceremony, he's not just revealing your Huna essence, your Huna name. He is also going to be doing what he calls polishing the lights. And by that, I mean, when you came in here, your light, your essence came through a bunch of filters and it got distorted down here. And so what he's doing is he is cleaning and clearing all of those filters that have been put into place so that he is polishing the lights. It takes time. It is going to express differently for everybody. Some people get really full of energy. Other people will suddenly spontaneously start weeping as they remember. There's no right or wrong way for it. Some people will get starved. Some people will not want to eat. They'll just want to go hide, or they'll want to sleep a lot. And it's simply your body that is integrating, and it's reshuffling what you've got in your energy session, in your energy aura, your light body. So let's see what we got going on here while I've been going blah blah. Scroll back up a little. Woo! Got some nice recipe sharing here. Nice, nice, nice. Oh, cool. I did this weird thing. Oh, I'll just load this up on the page here. And you're doing that while you're walking. And that's just it. Some of the stuff that you'll see over in New Zealand is called a haka. There are different stances, and they are different light codes. Again, it's light and action. And so some of this stuff, especially if it's spontaneous, a lot of the stuff you're remembering on your own. So it's like in the case of 5, I'll trace a 5 with both hands, but one's in reverse with the other. And 5s in numerology are for change. So you could be literally creating change as you're coming and going on your walks. Especially if it feels instinctive, do it. Just automatically do it. You're welcome, Annie Bear. I got a... Aw, that's sad. So they're not going to be able to go to India next year. Mm-hmm. Utica, I got my seal online. And honestly, for myself, I really could not recommend it. I mean, I have done a lot of stuff energetically. And I have to say, Luna Flash has got one of the biggest magnetics, and certainly one of the best frequency aura fields. To me, it was a real upgrade to do the seal. Not that I had I had a really large prompt to do it. And for you to do the seal, you do need to be ready to know that your stuff can change. Your life could change. Now, for myself, visibly, I didn't change that much from what I was doing. But on an energetics level, it did change. The energy healing that I was already doing, it got it to where it was amazing. I mean, it just expanded things for my own energy healing. So as powerful as it was before, it just went through the roof. And the nice thing about it is the online ceremony was extremely potent. You can record it so that you can preserve it and enjoy it and rewatch it. Again, it's very powerful. The seals are very powerful. And I do know that there are other hunas that are sealed. I want to say there's like 3 of them. They're in India. So you could start even communicating with them right now so that you guys can start getting together. Even though you haven't been sealed yet, you can start talking to them and you guys can start gathering together. And, the Lemurian technologies makes a very impactful change in the world. It's been one of the more impressive technologies that I've come across. And it's some people will go, oh, but it's negative because it collapsed something. Well, if it was collapsed or if it changed, if that person needed to leave your life, or we'll just throw something random out. Say that bank needed to close. That bank may have been built on a pack of lies and a house of cards. It might not have had a sound foundation. That person might have been a stealth person who was draining you and abusing you, and they needed to leave your life so that you could live your full life. A lot of times these are upgrades that we just simply won't do for ourselves until until we really, really have to have it forced on us. Yeah, definitely like kids in nature. Oh, have fun with your puppy. Thank you so much for stopping by. I honestly have to say I'm not too sure how long I'm going to keep going on. Mostly I'm just mostly I'm just chatting until we quit chatting. I came on because I had noticed that there was quite a few people that had questions, and so I had done a little bit behind the scenes, and I wanted to deliver some information, different techniques and things that people could do as well. Hi, Dreamweavers Joy. How you doing? Diana G says that she caught me once before and fell asleep then. Well, that's why, Diana or Diane. It's literally because you're upgrading. And I know it's a royal pain in the patootie. Although you could use me for insomnia. I've had people do that before. But what that's doing is it's getting you out of the way so that your conscious mind out of the way so that your energy can upgrade then. I think it's funny though that I'm here for insomnia. Oh, I know, right? Tired, up since 2 a.m. I hear ya. Some of these things that are coming in, the insomnia is just off the charts. A lot of times I have the insomnia because I'll be in bed and a lot of people, I don't know, but quite a few people in here, they've been seeing Sal Rod's. She has managed to get different videos of orbs and lights and things that are going on in her backyard. Well, I'm ecstatic personally because it's the same thing that I've been seeing in my bedroom for years now, and they've been coming in and doing upgrades on me. So you learn to nap, you really do, and so you can get a lot of rest even just by resting your eyes. Oh yeah, absolutely. Like I said, for myself, it was worth it. And I was approaching it even as that was back in 2021 that I did my seal, and I was already doing and had done for years my own energy healing. So his magnetics is just off the charts, and I know he's a big guy. He can look intimidating, especially to women, but he is incredibly respectful, and he's kind of a big teddy bear. But yeah, I really enjoyed my seal ceremony with him. Absolutely. Yeah, see, and I don't have any of the numbers for those in India. You would need to go to the office for it's simply I believe it's simply office at hoh.earth. Aw, that's wonderful. Ethnicity, always learn so much. I am so glad. I really am. Yeah, that's great. Diana G, my word, it's already 2:51 a.m. Where are you coming in from? I'm helping you with the insomnia. Well, you're very welcome. Won't be the first person that I've actually talked so much that I've put people to sleep. Aw, I am so sorry. Yeah. Well, hopefully your hubby's car will be an easy fix. Make it nice and easy, cheap to repair. Something simple. Oh, yeah, like this with GD. When I moved to New Mexico, my soul was home. That's just it. I think whenever we find our place, it's like you sneak into place and you just know it. Yeah, those bright white flashes. Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 I get those a lot. And the last 2 days have been light, just out of the periphery, which is annoying because, of course, when you turn your head to look, there's nothing there. But yeah, those bright, bright white light flashes, I've had that. Last week, I had so many flashes of blue lights, and those tend to be the Arcturians. But I've had every color. And then when we do have clear skies, we have UFOs. We've always had them, um, but they look like a rainbow light up in the sky. So, and then they don't stay in the sky; they come into the bedroom. Oh, the Philippines! How wonderful! I had a friend from the Philippines. Gosh, I haven't talked to her in a long time. But yeah, that's really neat. So you're 12 hours ahead of Eastern Standard Time, and Eastern Standard Time is 3 hours ahead of me. I think this is so cool how we can actually just talk to people from around the world all at the same time. Yeah, you're so welcome, Utica. Yeah, I get it. It's not even so much that that you're physically daunted. He does have a very large magnetic field, and you can sense that. And I think as women, it's very helpful for you to know that he is intensely respectful of women. He tries to not be daunting, and he tries to be very respectful, very supportive. Yeah, and yeah, I did. Yep, yep. I popped onto him as well. Oh, bye, Teresa. I missed Teresa leaving, but thank you for everybody that's stopped in and saying hi. Yeah, he does. He's got kind, lively. He's he's actually a huge child. He will tell you that himself. He's a big kid. But yeah, I appreciate the fact that um, he has a deep connection with grandmothers, and I appreciate that he is respectful of grandmother energy, and it's just it's really nice to see, because he's every bit a warrior protector, but he's also about giving you the space and supporting you as you find your own warrior energy, as you step into the essence that you are and your authority. Karen, how fun is this sitting and having a beer with chick friends? Cheers. Yeah, Utica, if you go for the seal, definitely come back and let me know what your seal is. I'd love to hear the Huna essence, because as you go over to Huna flashes, that's part of why people, it's not so much a matter of like it's only for the Hunas. They're sharing their Huna essence, and that's exactly why I'm doing it on here as well, because it is part of the remembering. We are one in the many, many in the one, and so it helps to activate us as we go forward. Aw, I feel I know him sometimes. He scares me. Yay! I'm back. Hi. Okay, well, cross our fingers. I had to run and reset my internet connection, which was really odd. But I can't believe this. Ah, yay! So I'm going to scroll back up. Hooray! Thank you so much for staying here. In the future, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm totally in the future. Actually, the Lemurian light, yeah, the Lemurian New Year. It, like I said earlier, it is in June, and so I'm actually functioning in 2025. I'm 6 years ahead, or 6 years. Good Lord, I hope not. 6 months ahead. Replay the birth signs that I did. Harmonization. Let's see. Oh no. Maybe I'm not supposed to say that. We'll skip that maybe. All I was going to say is he scolded me as well. He's not afraid of doing pressure to help people because his favorite thing is with pressure, you get a diamond. So he will sometimes apply pressure to you so that you can find the diamond in yourself. So, and yeah, I'm definitely, to reiterate, I'm going to be over on Allie at Heart and Soul Connected. And so that's tomorrow at 11 a.m. Kind of wondering on the replay if that's gonna show. I admit I'm really surprised. I'm very happy to see everybody still here. So yep, you lost me earlier. Honestly, I did not hear the military plane go over, but my lights have been doing something a little strange. I don't believe yesterday's car accident affected my electrical lines, but that's a remote possibility. But the energy's been a little weird around me this week, between the funeral home on Sunday and then the car accident yesterday. So, guard the heart. I only hope I was frozen in a nice, convenient place instead of like with my mouth open or looking weird. Oh, Lord. Oh, wonderful. Okay, so we've got power naps. Did I post the live here? I don't get the live alerts. Utica, I don't know if you're subscribed. What I'm going to try to do is I might try posting the tomorrow's show with Allie. I might try simulcasting. I don't know yet because that's almost like I'm trying to juggle and walk at the same time. So some of this stuff is a little new to me still, but I might try that. So, okay. The other thing that I've heard is you might try to undo the notification and then try redoing the notification again. It's something to do with YouTube stuff. I've heard quite a few people complaining about that, where for whatever reason their system doesn't quite work. Thank you for subscribing to the channel too. Annie Bear, please post a comment afterwards. Really, I appreciate it. Thank you. And yeah, I'm sure with YouTube it's going to help others to discover the channel as well. But I'm pretty sure by now everybody's left the room. If you're still here, just say hi or still here. But we've been going at it for about 2 hours, which is great. I don't mind chatting with people. I think it's a little easier to just do the chat after the hi Utica, but to do the chat after the oracle card reading rather than jump from one place to another. Did you do you know if you're going to do your seal anytime soon? He's got Huna Flash and Huna Tama'ake are going to be going up to Vancouver in British Columbia, and they're going to be meeting with a whole bunch of tribal elders at an event that's called Burning Mask. and they burned the mask, not the man. But I think it's going to be really interesting to see what transpires there, because it will be a lot of the different tribal elders that are coming to that for the first time in a really long time. So, well, I thank you for sticking around, and I don't know how many minutes I was out trying to get my little power to go back up. Okay, so they told me to go on the website and to book on the calendar. That's exactly what I did too. Yeah. Yeah, and it's the same, with Annie Bear. I know eventually you're going to do the seal, because you're already doing so much, and a lot of this with Lemuria is so much in alignment with what you already do. It's incredible to see. And that's just it too. When as we're getting these codes, even if we don't have our seals, even if we don't have the technologies or what have you, we are learning our technology. We are learning, like, the birth signs. Our birth signs are called motus, Motu. And so just having the knowledge, hey, I'm a wombat, or hey, I am a kitty, sign of the lamb, or I'm a Maita. They help you be supported in who you really are. They help you in your alignment down here. So that's really, really cool. Oh yeah, yeah. They're going to be doing a donation. Um, and honestly, I think I'm already booked. I don't think I'll get to. I don't think I'll get to watch it. Um, but yeah, I didn't know if you were in. Of course not. You're not in the area. You're going to be in India. But I'm sure afterwards that he will go ahead and talk about it on the channel as well. As I said, his usually is on Sundays. Yeah. See, and just knowing that you're a kaka, it begins to bring you into alignment. Knowing that you are in alignment with the voice. It's kind of like mine. I learned through my own wisdom with the wombats. I had to look up what a wombat even is, and Huno Flash was able to tell me in my ceremony that they are burrowing animals. They're pretty big, actually, and he said that they burrow to bring water to different places. He said that they help to revegetate desert areas. So, which is cool. But like the kaka, you can start incorporating the kaka, even just wearing a pendant, or placing an image of that on your website. Hi, Diane G. I am back. It was a miracle. I gotta be honest. I mean, I had to reset my internet connection, and I came back just to try it, to see if I could come through, and it put me right back onto the stream. So I'm shocked. I think everybody else took the hint and just ducked out. We've actually been at it for quite a while, but yeah, I wanted to see if I could get back in here right quick. But I'm going to go ahead and wind this one down for the day, because, like I said, tomorrow I do have a session with Allie on Heart and Soul Connected, and that's going to be at 11 a.m. And on that one, I'm not going to be doing the Lemurian stuff. I'm going to be doing my regular, which is a remote energy balancing system, and that's for people as well as the critters. I know, right? Hopefully you're seeing me again. But I'm going to go ahead and take that as a cue that I should probably hop off of here, because for whatever reason, my own internet connection is getting a little tenuous. But I will be either on Allie's tomorrow or I will be attempting to simulcast. Heaven help us. But yeah, either way, I'm going to be with Allie tomorrow at 11 a.m. Or if I don't see you till then, I will be back next week on Tuesday for another Oracle card reading. So thank you, everybody. Thank you so much for having your patience with the craziness with my internet connection. And I will see you. Okay, bye-bye.